How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. It did have a pullback on the Friday. I wasn't feeling too well, so I wasn't able to give you guys a lot of update videos. But one thing that is clear, I was telling you, if you were patient, there will be a pullback. And many of the people that saw this stock trying to make a run when it was in the $27 range were saying, Dre, it's not going to go down. You missed the boat to load up on shares. Well, here's what patience is looking like right now at the moment, and I see a further pullback. I'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $21.67, being down 2.91%. On the low, it tested $21.55, and then on the high, testing $22.34. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.131 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 20.213 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 37.26. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So it is very clear to see that Lucid has been on quite the downtrend, and with the recent price action we've been seeing as of late, it's been a strong sell-off. And if you guys remember, I was saying the level you want to keep an eye on is 2250. The moment we break through 2250, then there's a high likelihood that Lucid will be at the $20 range. So that's actually what I'm going to be looking out for this coming week. And if it ends up getting to $20, of course, I'd want to see if it could pull back below that, and then that's probably an area where you could think about adding to a position. Again, the last time that it broke below under $20, it was quite some time ago back in September. So that's one thing you want to add to your homework. Another thing is, I know many people are bullish on Lucid, so if you want to look forward to seeing a reversal, then I want to see some price action to see if it can get back to at least $23.86. And if it's able to gain some momentum, I'd want to see it reach a 21-day EMA, which is around $24.56. But we also do know $25 is a crucial area that Lucid needs to hold. And if it doesn't hold that, or if it continues to have resistance like we've been seeing, then that's why we have the selling that is happening. We talked about the death cross that occurred, so this bearish movement that we are seeing should not be surprising whatsoever. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. When we take a look at the recent filings, we've already covered the ones for April the 5th, which was a closed position, but we could see here we have a new position from SOA Wealth Advisors LLC for the 7th that purchased 288 shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 64.58%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 3.48 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 600,000, updated 9 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 4.41%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 62.75, and then for the close of the 8th, being at 64.58. 8. So it has creeped up a bit, but one thing that is clear though, Lucid does have short squeeze potential, especially since the short interest percentage of the float is at 19.20%. Again, you want to keep a very close eye on this play. Now, let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now, let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflow, it's at 43.26 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 57.54 million. So it was an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it's 24.03, and then on the small it is 19.23. When we take a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it is 0.96, on the medium it is 36.16, and then on the small it is 20.42. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for April the 8th, so the Friday just passed, it being a negative outflow of 0.96 million. But when we take a look at the past 5 trading days, they have all been outflow days. Again, this is what you want to be aware of, because if you were paying attention and kicking in the stats that we discuss on this channel, this pullback was bound to happen with all of these outflows. When we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale order that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, there was more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.92%. So this continues to be a consistent range, but it's actually a little bit lower because we're used to being at 1% or just a little bit higher. So what this shows, yes, there are many who are holding on to their positions, but we have to understand the fact there's a lot of selling that is going on, and there's no surprise due to the conditions we have inside of these markets. We'll talk about it further in the final thoughts, so let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, if you've been watching my previous videos, I was saying this stock can get extremely weak if it closes below 22.50, and that's exactly what we got. So as far as where I see it going for this coming week, we're going to be getting down to the $20 range. You heard me say this over and over again like a broken record. We fall below 22.50, it's only a matter of time. We're going to be testing around the $20 level, and if we break through $20, then the next area of support you want to see hold up is around $19.88. If you're looking for a bullish reversal and you want to see some strength out of the stock, it needs to go back to at least $24.56, reclaim 25, and be able to consolidate at that level so it can make a further move up to $27.50 and those levels that I've talked about. Again, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, there is interest on the institutional side. We're not too surprised about that, but taking a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential. Shorts are all over this play. So all we need is some more buying pressure coming into the market, or even a catalyst to get Lucid going again. And having that volume would go a big way in regards to seeing that price action move up fairly quickly. Because like I said, in order for this stock to move up considerably, we need to make sure that there's a catalyst that comes through for Lucid, or the second point is there's a lot of big money that flows into the tech sector. I'm not seeing that right now, and the main reason being is it's going to be focused on the bigger plays, the companies that have shown consistent profitability. And we clearly know that Lucid is not there as of yet. We see how underwhelming the past earnings report was. So just taking all these factors into consideration, it is not the best stock out there in the market, and you need to focus on those particular companies if you want to see upside for the year of 2022. I am not trying to sound bearish whatsoever. I do believe in Lucid's long-term prospects. I'm a shareholder as well, but I also want to make sure I'm picking up my shares at a cheap price. And that's why I was saying I am not adding to my position unless this stock falls below $20. I know many of you were calling me delusional, calling me crazy. Dre, look at the recent run up. It went all the way to 27. I should have bought in when it was 22 when you were saying that it was going to fall below 20. Here we are again. That's why I always say patience pays off. If you're a long-term investor, do your homework, do your due diligence, and then add to your position. Or maybe if you haven't bought any shares as of yet, it's something that you may want to consider. Because I look at it like this. this. If you're investing in a growth stock, it's going to have its ups and downs, and it's up to you as a confident investor to take advantage when the stock pulls back. And that's why I get very excited when I see great stocks pulling back considerably, because then that gives you the opportunity to get more shares of the company that you like. But if you have a problem with this and it frustrates you when you see stocks that you're holding are going down, I highly suggest you go out there, you read some books, and just get seasoned in the market. This is something that happens all the time, and this will make you have thicker skin and be able to have high conviction in the plays that you have confidence in. And we know with all of the challenges that are going on in the current environments right now, we have CPI data that's going to be coming out on April the 12th, and this could have a significant impact. If we end up getting results that are higher than estimates, the stock market could pull back further, and of course Lucid's price action after that will have it trading below $20, and that's why I always emphasize waiting on opportunities. And we also can't forget the segment that Lucid is in. They are targeting the luxury EV segment. So when we're in an environment where there's going to be less spending and so forth, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to be crushing it in regards to sales numbers and so forth? I want you to use your common sense. So what you could do, if the stock does decide to pull back further throughout the year, then you continue to dollar cost average your way in. And then when things pick back up, you'll be able to enjoy even more profits. That's why I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys sound decisions that you need to make, or what you should be thinking about when you're jumping into these plays. Because of course, I can't give you financial advice. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really can't wait to see how this stock performs for this coming week. We'll be talking real soon.